Good morning, students. Myself, Ms. Rupal Desai from Srimati LP Savani Vidya Bhavan. Students, today we will start the lesson number 5, The Snake and the Mirror. Now, before to start the lesson, I just wanted to give you the introduction of the lesson. This story is a narrative within the narrative. The writer tells us the story which was told to him by a homeopathic doctor. As we see from the title, the snake and the mirror are the two important things in the story. This homeopathic doctor encountered a snake when the snake fell on him. When the snake saw its reflection into the mirror, it was more interested in that, and the doctor's life was saved. So, student, we have the story. It is a humorous story about a doctor, a snake, and a mirror. So, we'll start with the lesson with the paragraph number 1. Has a snake ever coiled itself round any part of your body? A full-blooded cobra. All of us fell silent. The question came from the homeopath. The topic came up when we were discussing snakes. We listened attentively as the doctor continued with his tale. It was a hot summer night, about 10 o'clock. I had my meal at the restaurant and returned to my room. I heard a noise from above. As I opened the door, the sound was a familiar one. One could say that the rats and I shared the room. I took out my box of matches and lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. So, student, in the above paragraph, the homeopathic doctor is narrating the story. He asked the writer, when he was a child, he was sitting with the children. So, he asked the writer and the group if anyone had ever been wrapped up by a cobra snake. The audience became silent because the fear of the cobra snake. Then the doctor narrated his story. It was a hot summer night, about just 10 o'clock at night. He was returning home after having his dinner at the restaurant. So, this is the pre-story. The narrator just tried to convey that one of the time when he was a child, the homeopathic doctor was discussing a story. It is about the cobra, it is about the snake. So as soon as he opened the door of his room, he heard a noise from above, but he did not react because he was used to such noises. He was very much familiar about the noise. He was used to listen to this kind of noise, and it was the noise of rats. There were many rats in his room, so he was used to be used with the noise. Now, second paragraph. The house was not electrified. It was a small rented room. I had just set up medical practice and my earnings were meager. I had about 60 rupees in my suitcase, along with some shirts and dhotis. I also possessed one solitary black coat which I was then wearing. Student, here will have some meaning. The word is meager, M-E-A-G-R-E. Meager means little, small in quantity. So here the writer says that there was no light in doctor's room. So he lighted the kerosene lamp with a matchbox. He had taken a small room on rent. As he had just started his medical practice, he was earning very less. And that is why he was living in such a dirty and shabby condition. He told the writer that he had just 60 rupees in his bag. Further, he also added that he had some shirts and dhoti to wear. He also had a black colored coat which he was wearing at the time of an incident. He removed the coat, his shirt, and his vest, and he says that the vest was not so white, which means that it was dirty. Now we'll have the third paragraph. I took off my black coat, white shirt, and not so white vest and hung them up. I opened the two windows in the room. It was an outer room with one wall facing the open yard. It had a tiled roof with long supporting gables that rested on the beam over the wall. There was no ceiling. There was a regular traffic of rats to and from the beam. I made my bed and pulled it close to the wall. I lay down, but I could not sleep. I got up and went out to the veranda for a little air. But the wind god seemed to have taken time off. So, students, in the third paragraph, the writer says that he removed his coat. The homeopathic doctor, once he entered into the room, then he tried to sleep. So, he removed his coat, his shirt, and his vest. He says that the vest was not so white, which means that it was dirty. Now, student will have some meaning. The word is yard. Yard means an open area. Open area. The word gable, the means upper part of the wall. Upper part of the wall. Now students, then he opened the windows. After changing the clothes, he opened the windows. The room which he had taken on rent was on the outside of the house, and one wall of the room faced the garden. The roof had tiles on it, and the gable was supported by the beams. You have seen the picture, student. In the previous page, it was given at the very right side of your hand. The roof had tiles on it and the gable was supported by the beams. Inside the room, there was no roof. The beam on which the gable was supported was full of rats, which went in and out of the room through it. So, then he set his bed near the wall and he lay down to sleep, but could not sleep. It seemed that the wind god had taken time off. It means that, students, that the wind was not blowing. The wind god had taken a day off, means he was on a holiday. And so, wind was not blowing at all. He had gone out to get some fresh air because he did not have any fan or cooler in his room and he was feeling very hot. So he just moved outside for getting some fresh air, but he was disappointed because at outside also the wind was not blowing. Now the paragraph number 4. So I went back into the room and sat down on the chair. I opened the box beneath the table and took out a book, the Materia Medica. I opened it, and the table on which stood the lamp and a large mirror, a small comb, lay beside the mirror. One feels tempted to look into a mirror when it is near one. I took a look. In those days, I was a great admirer of beauty, and I believed in making myself look handsome. I was unmarried and I was a doctor. I felt I had to make my presence felt. I picked up the comb and ran it through my hair and adjusted the parting so that it looked straight and neat. Again, I heard that sound from above. Now, student, when he went outside, he did not find any fresh air, so he came back to his room and sat on a chair, and he opened the box under the table and took out a book which named Materia Medica, which is related to the homeopathic medicines. So he kept it on the same table on which a lamp, a mirror, and a small comb was lying. He opened it and sat down. As he was sitting in front of the mirror, he looked at his image in the mirror. He says that he was a great admirer of beauty. He started praising himself. As he was a young man, he liked to appreciate the beautiful things and wanted to improve his looks to look more handsome. So then he realized, as he was unmarried and he was a doctor too, he was an eligible bachelor. So he wanted to make people to know that he was also available. So then he took the comb and he started combing his hair, trying to set them properly. When he was combing his hair, again he heard the same sound from above, but still he ignored it because the same sound was the familiar one, so he did not notice it. Now paragraph number 5. I took a close look at my face in the mirror. I made an important decision. Student, underline this. 2 important decisions what he made. The first one, I would shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor. I looked into the mirror and smiled. It was an attractive smile. So I made another earth-shaking decision. I would always keep that attractive smile on my face. That is the second important decision. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor too, on top of it. Again came that noise from above. So now, students, he looked carefully in the mirror and decided that he would shave daily and grow a thin mustache because he thought that he would look better and more handsome with it. The doctor repeats that he was not married and was a doctor too. So he wanted to say that he was supposed to look very handsome. He was supposed to be good looking so that he could get a better match for himself. He appreciated, while looking into the mirror, he appreciated himself and said that he had an attractive smile. Another thing that he decided was that he would always keep smiling because he looked better when he smiled. The doctor was being ironic when he said that to keep smiling was an earth-shaking decision. So student, in the paragraph number 5, the homeopathic doctor, he made 2 important decisions. That one is that he could shave daily, and the second one, he always keep a smile on his face. So now paragraph number 6. So I got up, paced up and down the room. Then another lovely thought struck me. I would get married to a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. She had to be fat for a valid reason. If I made some silly mistake and needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. With such thoughts in my mind, I resumed my seat in the chair in front of the table. There were no more sounds from above. Suddenly there came a dull thud as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Surely nothing to worry about. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. The snake's landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. Student will write the few meanings over here. The word is paced, P-A-C-E-D. The word paced means walked. Walked. Second word valid. Valid means logical. Logical. So, he got up from his chair and started walking up and down in the room. And then he decided on one more thing. He decided to marry a woman doctor, one who had lots of money and a good medical practice. Further, the doctor thought that he would marry a fat girl. For that, he had a logical reason also. He reasoned that, what is the reason behind? The reason is that if sometime he makes a mistake and his wife chases him in anger to hit him, she will not be able to run fast and catch him if she would be fat. Thinking all these things, the doctor again sat down on the chair. Now the sound had stopped, but all of a sudden something fell down, making the sound of a thud. It felt like some rubber tube had fallen and the doctor did not bother about it. But then he thought of turning around to see what had fallen. As soon as the doctor turned, he saw that a big fat snake had crawled over the chair and sat on his shoulders. The timing of the doctor's turning around and the snake's landing on his shoulder was same. Student, the word is simultaneous, means same. Paragraph number 7. I didn't jump. I didn't tremble. I didn't cry out. There was no time to do any such thing. The snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. The hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. It would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. I was turned to stone, but my mind was very active. The door opened into darkness. The room was surrounded by darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. Here, in this above stanza, the writer, the homeopathic doctor says, after seeing that the doctor, when he turning around and the snake's landing on his shoulder, then he did not panic. He did not even jump or tremble. He did not shiver and he did not scream. It happened so fast, so instantly, that he did not have any time to react. The snake moved in such a way that it wrapped itself on the doctor's left arm like a coil. It was in such a position, just 3 or 4 inches away from his face, that if he would have moved slightly, the snake could have beaten him. The doctor says that he was not only holding his breath, but he had turned into a stone, just like a statue. He was still like a statue, but his mind was very active. He was thinking what he should do next. There was darkness all around him, outside the room, even inside the room. It was all very dark. There was only single light, and the light of the lamp, and in that light he was sitting like a statue. Now, paragraph number 8. I felt then the great presence of the Creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I said something and He did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." There was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick leaden rod, no, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. What could I do? So here in the paragraph number 8, the man, homeopathic doctor, and now he was in trouble. So he started feeling the presence of God. He was not able to do anything. So he started thinking of God. Now he decided not to speak a little or a single word, because if he should anger the snake, in his heart the doctor was praying to God to save his life. As this snake has coiled itself, it had wrapped itself around his arm. It was experiencing a lot of pain. The doctor was full of pain. He was feeling as if a thick molten rod made of lead was crushing his arm and breaking it. He felt helpless. He could not do anything to save himself. So student, will stop here with the paragraph number 8. The 9 from 9th one will do it with the part number 2. So here we stop with the paragraph number 8, page number 58.